So my internet died this week. Like it just completely went out mid-tournament, when I was actually starting to have a good run on my hands. In a Swiss bracket with 172 players and now 3 wins under my belt, if I got just one more, I'd be in the top 10. At least for a week.
But that backfired colossally.
But that dream was just too good to be true.
De Gib, but too Gib.
Because Tugu was my next opponent. Famously, he's the sparring partner of arguably the best player in Rumble, South,
Really?
and a champion in his own right, winning multiple monthly EU Cups. That's right, another freaking European. And my ping to Europe is atrocious. And that's when I even have internet. Last year in the global comp, Tugub and I faced each other, and due to that ping, we had to introduce slowly escalating tiebreaker rules
Ceremonial damage.
to disadvantage the host player in an attempt to give the client a hope of a chance to win
5.
just a single round.
Alright, should we up the ante?
Maybe.
What about like 12?
Yeah, maybe 12. That's gonna be close.
And in the end, we set a record for one of the most punishing set of tiebreaker rules that have had to be played.
Oh!
No stones for the
Oh,
host,
just like that.
and starting with negative 12 damage. Now, like you might have seen last week, these hyping matches either come down to a devastating mistake from the host, or every so often, a miracle.
The double win.
That is, if you can play your match at all. There's no greater curse. Okay, there's one greater curse than wanting to play a tournament match but not being able to. Thankfully, it was my opponent who came up with a good idea, and I was just desperate enough to do it.
That's why we don't go for flick moves in this tournament.
So 4 hours before the cutoff of when our match scores had to be in for that week, I found internet in an unlikely place.
That's gonna be the only time I will use flick this match.
And I don't know what it was, something in that salty air.
I never know when like just a spontaneous flick will come out.
But when I set my PC up to play at
I
McDonald's,
try not to, but
I found 2 miracles that day.
every so often.
You never know.
That doesn't mean I won, but it means it's a good story. So we'll just get straight into it.
I just need to, actually, let me tell them now. Guys, if you could you're just standing a little bit close to the PC. I know you're having your birthday party before school, but man, I tell you, I am playing at a McDonald's. I'm playing at a McDonald's and there's a kid's birthday. I don't know if you can hear them just over there.
It cannot be true.
Yeah, I am. Actually, we're about to start. Yeah, could I just get a large fries, please?
Drink with that?
No, no, just.
We'll bring it to you when it's
That's
done.
all right. Just call out my number. I'm not going to come to it straight away because I'm in a match, but okay. Thank you.
Anyway, none of that was edited before. It was all a dream sequence for you. If you haven't been to Shoeleast, this is just raw gameplay. But today, there's a little bit of editing because the game was like an hour and 10 minutes. And on this kind of ping, it's pretty one-sided until you get to the tiebreaker. So I'm just going to have the most interesting parts until we get to that point. And otherwise, I'm going to yap about something that might interest you. The future of Rumble, or at least what I think it is. Now, you can look at esports in terms of what's fun for the players, or you can look at it in terms of what's fun for viewers. And the most successful esports do the stuff that makes it entertaining to watch. Because obviously you need an audience to watch something, not everyone can be a player. And with that in mind, this match was an hour and 10 minutes long, where 60% of it, before we got to tiebreakers, meant nothing because of the ping difference. So, under normal circumstances, not an EU to an AU player, the matches are more interesting to watch because there's that tension of anyone could turn it around at any moment, or at least there should be. But that doesn't happen in this until you get further along into the very hectic tiebreaker rules. And trust me, we'll get into the story of the miracle. Oh, going for the Hail Mary behind the head throw.
Oh!
And get destroyed. Now, I'll let these
Nice.
first matches play out, because we're still feeling each other out. And some of them got a little bit close and we made mistakes, but as we both started to lock in, that ping difference just meant that it was just insurmountable. Also, sorry, you can probably hear that I'm sick. I was already sick during this match, but I got double sick from the kids at McDonald's. So sorry about my nasally voice. But any long stretches where damage hasn't been done or straight up boring rounds, I'll just skip and then I'll interject
nice.
my thoughts on the future of Rumble as well.
have a feeling we're gonna go to tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And also the parts where the McDonald's, patrons and employees started to get in my way as I was playing this game.
No, it's fine. You go ahead. I'll get it in a minute.
You sure? I don't mind.
Like, no one else gonna take it. Sorry. Just have no sympathy for me. I chose this. So,
What did you order?
just a large fries. French fries, in honor of you.
Okay.
Now, some people want to watch that hour and 10 minutes, and I'm genuinely surprised by the analytics.
Wait, which world is that?
People actually watch full raw stuff like this. You're a special
Ouch.
breed.
Wait.
That's not for me. Unless it's for historical purposes to review stuff and tell a story. I'm a historian and data hoarder at heart, and I always like to think, you never know what matches are going to be so significant in the future to tell someone's story. Like when Tugri wins the IRL Rumble European Cup against his sparring partner Sauerkraut for the first time in a clutch
Wow,
move,
really?
and it was from something he learned in this match, That's what you have to think whenever you're recording and save stuff. I mean, 90% of the time that's not the case, but if you don't have it, you can't use it in storytelling, so I like to have it. And I'm not necessarily going to be the one telling all the stories. I use other people's footage all the time, and I'm so blessed and happy that people record stuff.
nice.
So as a middle ground, I'm going to... Actually, we're just going to watch me catch this disc.
No, not the
Oh,
shot.
no.
Thank you, Dan.
I'm like, where did you frock that from? Nicely done.
Getting 2 large fries.
Nice one.
You win.
Sorry, can you guys hear that? I try not to make ASMR chip eating sounds. So I heard you're quite a pro in the EU Monthly Cup.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say I'm not a pro in everything, but I guess in monthly cup you could say that.
Nice. What's your record there?
But yeah, I won a couple times, but I'm not sure that's really relevant.
Anyway, as I was saying, and before we get on to my future predictions of Rumble, we'll go back to the past, and for the historians and hoarders and completionists, I'll put an unlisted video of a completely unedited version of this match in a link in the description, with no bells and whistles, in case that's for you. And I'll probably do that in the future for any matches that get cut down like this too. But before we get onto my futurist predictions of Rumble, let me just give you an update on how this match is going. This is the only round I ever got close, even to just above a little bit of half damage on Tugib on his host. Just because he made a couple of mistakes, but he is an extremely clean player, not fully paced, still enough to be reactive, but still enough of a pace to just give me a hard time, like with his ball explode straights, when I'm on this ping. So besides some lucky hits again, I was going for the game plan of being as defensive as possible, hoping that he would make some mistakes, because the more I attack, the more I just open myself up.
Well done.
But honestly, it wasn't really working, so I was going into survival mode.
Did not have much room there.
Then for my hosts, Tugib was insanely slippery with his dashes and stuff. That was a crazy RTS he just got there. So
nice.
I was just kind of trying to keep it clean. Classic charge tempo, which waits for someone to struck cut something, dodge, and then punish. This isn't the best example of that, but I'm just trying to catch him when he dodges. Man, that was a bad round. I think after this, we both just locked in, and the damage that we each received on host just got less and less.
Oh.
But yeah, because the ping advantage is so much, I can just be patient and wait for the correct window.
I thought I was safe on this one, but absolutely not.
When it's relevant, we'll go back to the VOD review. But let me get into the ramble about Rumble's future.
I thought I'd use this case to vision cast what I've seen as the ideal outcome for Rumble's future, because I think that's really exciting and interesting to think about.
Nice. Just found the flame.
Should have called the silver bullet.
Now, many alternate realities exist, including one where the devs fumble the bag and don't deal with all the bugs and we fail to launch on the Quest release, but that only happened in a couple of the timelines. The majority of them are very positive, so I'm going to paint a picture for one of them that I see.
But right now, just look at this flick attempt. It just always falls short on the range. Even though that was super long, with the punch straight flick flail, I've finally accepted that the range is not enough against a player who's getting their own pushback from their combos. So there must be a different smart play.
Now for the rest of this year, the devs are focusing on the upcoming Quest release, and that is going to be major.
And I think the Quest release will come out according to the devs' patterns of being able to predict release dates. I have no insider information ever, by the way. This is my speculation. But seeing the pattern,
Thank you for that.
2 weeks minimum, which is nice. So yeah, I don't know. Quest release, hopefully it's not 6 months past the prediction. But to be safe, let's just say, you know, sometime early Q1 next year. There was a timeline in which the devs finally admitted they needed some extra help in bug testing and employed some contractors to make the process much smoother so they could focus on the things they were actually good at and enjoyed in development and not spending all their time on bug hunting that someone else could do. And in that case, they did actually hit their deadline of release. And so that's really cool.
Excellent.
So there's still hope there as well.
But it's very exciting, and that is going to be huge. Everybody who's been waiting for Rumble to come to standalone is going to flood in. We've got the tutorial straight. We've got all the Discords ready. The bugs are out of the game. Hopefully people are aware of what it is and aren't going to bounce off it.
Wrong idea. I
did feel it coming in.
No.
The server's going to crash, obviously. There's going to be bugs, but I hope it's major.
Anyway, back to the present. Now we're on to tiebreak.
Should we just go straight to no stones?
You win.
I guess we could, yeah.
Because I feel like it doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need everybody to be absolutely quiet. Do you know who I'm playing? Two Gweeb. He's too Gweeb to be true. Now we're in tiebreakers, so if you 8-year-olds could leave, thank you. All right, everybody's watching, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I inspire the next generation of player in that McDonald?
Yeah, they can't actually watch the game because I'm not like showing my screen, but they're watching like me play.
Yeah.
And imagining what you're doing.
Now, a lot of people don't like change, and there are people in the Rumble community who worry about the questy invasion. I mean, a lot of games just with open mic as default that are competitive PvP end up being toxic, but by some miracle, well, it's probably well understood by the Rumble community why, but we just have an amazing, wholesome community. One of the least toxic gaming communities out there, despite it being, you know, quite a competitive game. So I want to alleviate fears that I don't think that the influx of Quest players is going to do anything to harm that. In my first video on Shoelesser, where I played some different games, I can't believe I did that, and I went into a gorilla tag lobby, it did feel like a speed run to hear a racial slur, because within 5 seconds that's what I heard in a public lobby. But I don't think that's going to come over to Rumble.
Oh, nice.
Predictably, playing with no stones isn't enough to 2v. He wasn't really using them before, they were just a safety buffer in case of mistakes. Which makes me think sometimes, is the meta not actually Sadamit if you can just be confident enough not to get hit? Because it's a, you know, insurance policy. It doesn't actually necessarily make you play better, it just gives you more chances. But maybe in a defense-focused game where health is your resource, that just only makes sense that safety is the meta. But I think in future, it'd be cool to see different play styles at the top competing against each other. That comes back to what makes the most interesting spectator sport. For me, without my stones, people have pointed out that I have many charge-based tactics that I still use, like a dash slingshot buffer, even when I don't have the charge stone. But I think it still increases my range and changes my tempo to something that higher pace players aren't used to playing against. Especially on this ping, it's just bullying. I can play a bit slower and just wait to see what's happening before going for my attack. So although charge did a lot of my damage before, it's still the same sort of tactics, even without charge, that do the damage now. But we were talking about the culture of Rumble first, and why it's not going to go toxic.
I think our culture is strong enough that people come in are either going to embrace it because they anticipate it from watching videos or knowing about the game. They'll bounce off of Rumble because it's too hard and there aren't public lobbies full of children to mess around with and say the most intense thing they can to get a reaction, and so they won't play the game for that.
Or even if they aren't exposed to the culture of Rumble will naturally just, history will repeat itself and it will be created again because of the circumstances that gave rise to it in the first place.
And just like that, the damage is evened out.
Oh yeah, we're on to starting the match with the host with 5 less HP than the max of 20. But yeah, the culture will repeat itself because
the game is just hard. You just really need to end up
I really need to let go of that. Oh, nice
being
read.
taught by others or teaching others you run into. And I feel like with the Quest release, there's going to be a great reset. Now, we have a long history and lineage of moves and characters and stories of the game. But I actually think when the Quest release happens, there'll be pockets and groups of players that join that are disconnected completely from that. And when I say reset, I actually mean it like they will come into it afresh and history will repeat itself where the same culture will develop out of the difficulty of the game and the fact that we embody avatars and talk to people that kind of humanizes us. So even if they don't pick up from our culture, which I think we can set and have
Prison
set,
of my own making.
it'll sort of recreate that there. And that's a prediction for the future too, that I think we've got to be okay with this reset. And there'll be people coming up with new moves that have already been discovered, and it'll be a temptation to gatekeep and try and, you know, force the past on new people. But there'll have to be an element where we have an open hand and let new players discover things for themselves and celebrate those discoveries. And yeah, I don't really know how to paint it, but like just a level of acceptance that it's okay, there's going to be a major shift that we get used to when this happens. Because our core community, we'll all know each other, we all know the stories, and that's okay. And eventually other people might not learn too, but if Rumble becomes as big as I hope it becomes, then there's just no way for everyone to know everything about everyone, you know? And that's okay.
I think I grounded it as you were. It denied something.
Yeah.
I'll do the damage, you do the pillar.
Because there'll still be new amazing stories in those pocket communities as well. I also think with Quest use, it might make it harder for the community to exist across Discord like it does now. Not many games have their sole like community across Discord. Others have pointed out some games use Reddit a lot more or different things, but yeah, we use Discord a lot, and I feel like with the Quest, it's harder to multitask across game and Discord.
After that one wall, I was like, oh no. Okay, now we go to 10. Absolutely brutal.
Yep.
So that might lead to some interesting changes where ping to fight is more challenging to use because you can't be on Rumble and then ping to fight unless you like are standing next to your computer or have your phone in your pocket. And that level of friction might mean that people use VC less or Discord less in general, and there's a lot more in-game chat.
Oh, hang on a second. We might have a run on our hands. 2Gib damaged himself. I got a disc in. He's finally on red for the first time since maybe this whole tournament. I don't know. And I still am on the green bar, so I go for another Hail Mary behind the back. Just to be weird and confusing, you never know, but it also never works. So I'm just trying to get through again the second time. There's something to that idea, but it's just not quite right. Maybe for the future, I'm captured on the pass-by with a 5 damage from that boulder. 2Gib is wearing me down as usual, and it's done.
Nice. Oh, I felt.
And the hope to set the bar is shattered.
That ended badly.
But my spirit is not.
If he can bleed, we can kill it. You do the damage, I'll do the pillar.
Back on thread, I don't know the consequences of less Discord use, or if I'm just overblowing the friction of a standalone user to Discord, indicating this change that I'm feeling.
But it's just something interesting to note that as PCVR users, we take it for granted how easy it is to pop onto our screens and look at things or look at clips from other people demoing moves or whatever. But it's going to be a great time. We're going to have an influx of new players. We're going to have to steward them well, raise them up and teach them. And it will take like 6 months for everything to sort of settle in. And then so towards the latter half of 2026, I think we'll start to get more content, hopefully. More maps, more shift stones.
Oh,
Oh no.
fantastic.
Now at this point, I always think about it.
They always think about it.
And 2Gib switches to Surge instead of Stubborn, and focusing less on survival and the hope that one single combo could stack when you're at this low HP to finish someone off in, 2 hits or 2 mistakes. One grounded wall and then, a cube follow-up and you're done. But the Adamant stays there to just give you a little less damage, so maybe you survive a little longer. And especially since Surge can self-proc on you, that's why some people would do that combo instead of Surge Stubborn, which I saw some of the comments suggesting why don't people do that. It's just very risky that when Surge is procced, you'll just end up damaging yourself, and all of a sudden you're eating your own health away from your own mistakes. Even trying to parry something on high ping coming your way ends up making that structure your own, and then you hit it, and you just added 1 damage to yourself. So Adamant just counteracts that, and so is maybe smarter than just Stubborn. Unless you're a dasher, maybe it is just the best decision, so that you still have the knockback reduction and the damage reduction when you're doing that. At least with Adamant, you're not self-surging, which is something interesting to note. You can proc Surge by damaging yourself, and then use that additional damage on your opponent.
That Surge is scary.
No regrets.
So now, it's time to focus in on this very important round.
Trying to fake me out.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Let's go.
The bar has been set.
Okay.
The bar has been
Okay.
set.
Now we're speaking.
Okay, so we keep going. Oh man, in the dust, I got cornered there. Well done. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Honestly, I don't know what I did there.
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
This is psychological warfare too.
I made a very dumb decision, and 2Gib made a very
3, 2, 1.
good play. I tried to dash away from the wall because I felt cornered, but at that moment he just trapped me with that boulder. Then trying to dash away as well, I got sort of stopped by a fallen wall, which protected me from a second, but I just stun-locked my brain, and in the dust he must have followed up with a cube uppercut. I don't know what it actually was because I can't see it. And because he had the Surge on, instead of 3 damage, which would have taken me to 1 HP, it was 4, and that was it. A boulder for 6, and the Surge cube for 4. So it was just a very good play by 2Gib, and I am now completely on the back foot. Cannot let him win the second round, otherwise there's no chance to raise the bar. I can only reset it by winning 2, which, as we've seen, is so hard on this high ping. And it also locks us into the current tiebreaker rules that we have for the next round. So I'm just playing cautiously. I've woken up
Just as before.
and shut it down. Now even I switched to Surge Adamant to see if that just extra damage in a combo might help me. Just a hope and a prayer. I haven't been able to crack him. It's been like 3 whole games since I've even gotten him into the red. And I just try to go back to the game plan of locking it down, being defensive, but also trying to get some chip in. But he's very good at getting around it, right? So I throw boulders just because they're just as likely to hit me, and usually do if I don't get rid of them. But I mean, I noticed 2Gib, he just avoids them mostly because it's very hard to hit the host with those with a basic slingshot uppercut. I mean, sometimes you can get insane speeds, but yeah, I haven't had much success on these hyping matches. I just use them as like, you know, to block line of sight, hopefully hide behind them, try and combo it up off a cube fail. 2Gib is pushing stuff above. And yeah, hopefully because of the music, you can't hear my just absolutely heavy breathing. I was just so tapped by this point. and yes,
Oh, beautiful.
I'm down to the last
So
chance.
this is my last chance to tie the bar. And
Yep.
if not, it's GG. So you do the damage.
Also, sorry for the shaky cam. There's a glitch at the moment that's done that. It's so frustrating. So yeah, that's why there's that jiggle. There is a strange melancholy to seeing yourself fight against a European god, knowing logically there is almost no chance of you resetting the bar, but spiritually not being able to accept that reality because you always got to know there's a chance to come back. Because as soon as you lose that mental game and think you've lost, well, you have. But if you take the risk of looking foolish and hope upon yourself that you could win, then there's still a chance it could happen. So why not take the gamble and believe in yourself? And then,
Tricky one.
just at the right time, as they always do, a miracle might happen. The miracle of McDonald's. The first one, at least.
Oh shit, no!
A miracle occurred! No! Okay, you do the damage. At 1 HP.
How did I miss that? No!
You do the damage. It's not over. It could just be... could just be a reset, annoyingly enough, because in these rules, if I raise the bar, then you still get another chance.
Oh my god. How did I fuck that up?
Oh my gosh. Okay. 1, explode, and 2.
Now, after that miracle, 2Gib was not going to let the same mistake happen. But I had to try and lock in and raise the bar because at the moment it was only reset, and this means we could just be playing indefinitely. And as I mentioned before, even if you raise the bar, your opponent still now has a chance to reset it one more time again. Whereas in the previous rules, you only had to raise it and then you won. But like I said, sometimes on these hyping matches, it comes down to a catastrophic mistake. And just as I was summoning a wall to straight a 2Gib, he hit himself with a boulder for 6, and my wall hit him for 5. So what was an ace and me on 1 HP became a bar reset with my win. In that single moment. And as well, you would have seen, I swear I should have got damage being blown forward through my own wall summon, and yet I wasn't. You can even see I'm standing like still, expecting myself to die. But that's the miracle of McDonald's. Or the first one, at least.
This time.
Oh. Damn. Nice, dude.
I'm so stupid.
That's a bar reset.
That's 1 disc.
You lose.
Just away. Oh my god.
So I guess we keep it at 10, right?
Unless you wanna go like 12, but yeah, I think at 10 it's...
Do you want to try 12?
Okay, so that's 12.
Yeah.
Alright. Ready?
Anyway, back to the Ramble content.
I hope the devs don't know how much success Rumble is going to have. And I hope that they're going to have to deal with that success quickly. Across just 4 guys for a game of this sort of scale, I think they will have to expand with the money they get. And I think that will be hopefully a good thing to get some more content in the game that's still under their vision that they've created that we all love, but they open up to working with more talented artists and individuals who can contribute to the game in a good way. And I think in bad timelines, the game is bought by bigger studios and they cash out. But I think the devs have proven time and time again that they're not trying to do this for a cash grab, and they are passionate artists. So I think they will retain control, and that's good. In other words, we're not going to get a battle pass and, you know, a free-to-play model. That's probably like a long way away, but could still happen. So with more shift stones, we're going to get more bugs, of course, but also that means more tech and more features and new discoveries. And again, another sort of reset as a lot more tools are added to just even, you know, double, triple the infinite possibilities we've already found with such limited tools. And I think that's when Rumble, we're starting to call it a sandbox now. I can't remember who said that. That made me think, oh yeah, it's a martial arts sandbox. It'll feel even more like that just because there'll be so many tools, like in the form of different moves and stones and I mean, maybe there'll even be mechanical additions, like different type of soil or walls or
12 damage, it's brutal.
You know, bounce pads or whatever that can all just be combined to make even more tech and weird moves and fun things and discovery. I also think in late 2026 is when we'll see the rise of Rumble content creators starting to take off. With a much larger built-in audience, if a game is popular, it's much, much easier for YouTube careers to be made. So anyone with even a little bit of a sense for editing and story and entertainment will be able to use Rumble as their filmmaking toolbox, which is how I've seen Rumble. So if you want to get a head start for that, you should really start learning and start making Rumble content. And a rising tide lifts all boats. It'll just help the word of Rumble spread even further, and we'll have a healthy ecosystem of Rumble creators.
Well, that's right. Here I went for a comet, dashing past a boulder, straighting it, then flicking it to move you through the air with the boulder. But I missed it. But Taco saw the vision. And Pompey, the movement player, ironically did not. But anyway, more creators means a healthier ecosystem for Rumble content, and not just one professional full-time Rumble creator trying to put everything on their backs, doing the hard yards, pioneering the path to make it easier for the next generation to come through.
Thanks, Omelette du Fromage, for all the streaming you do. That's who I was talking about, by the way. And Pep for his shorts, of course. Now, at the start of 2027, about within a year, just shy of a year of the Quest release, I think that's when we're going to start seeing our first in-person Rumble events with some sort of serious organization behind them in regards to a day or, you know, weekend tournament. And hopefully we've got some sort of LAN at this point. And they'll start small, and they'll, you know, be issues. They won't be perfect, but it'll be really fun, and it'll look really cool, and it'll be entertaining to watch. And hopefully we as Rumblers get invited to big events like EVO as like an interesting sideshow of, you know, the growth of VR fighting games and competition. That's interesting to watch on a stage because you're watching an IRL person fight as well as the characters on screen fighting. And that will seed what will grow and grow and grow in future years, the in-person events.
Wait, what? Flick.
No.
Why did I doubt you? Well, it just clicked. With the HP advantage, it doesn't matter if it's a trade. I can use the flick to close the gap. That was the gap in the meta that I saw versus Jack originally. Why did I forget about you? When there's nothing to lose on client, you may as well go for the risky play, and I just did it with 2-give and hit him. Is flick meta? Have I been thinking about this wrong? Maybe not on host, but client. Is that when it's worth the risk, despite having less control? Or is it still just not enough?
Oh. You got the 1 HP survival as well.
See, the Hail Marys, that was just stupid, and the flick flails had too short a range, but what if knowing from the start you have the HP advantage, you find that window to make that flick mobility play?
I guess we're even in terms of when HP comes back.
Yeah.
Do we do it? Do we have to go to 14?
But that window had just closed.
That's fucked up.
I know.
We ended up deciding to just raise it by 1 for 13 damage.
14 damage is really fucked up.
Because otherwise a single boulder hit would kill you.
Because you were on 1 HP that last round.
Regardless,
Yeah.
this was the
So
most
is that 2
dangerous
walls?
and highest level of
And a pillar.
tiebreaker rules anyone has ever got to that I know of. Maybe fittingly, beating my personal best, which was with 2Gib last year. One single slip up and you're done.
When
It
you're
practically has to be ace rounds when you're already exhausted after playing for an hour.
Alright, I'm ready.
It felt cruel.
3, 2, 1.
Just as I'd worked out a strategy that I could use, I couldn't use it. And now it was 2Gib who had the option to set the bar first. All I could do was lock in. And so that's what I did. I think finally I'd gotten his dash cadence and positioning of how far he would go when trying to do stuff. And still played defensively, summoning walls so I wouldn't get hit by the chip when he had the opening.
Ah. I missed my hold.
But he still had a second chance. And I still only had 7 health.
Let's go.
Interestingly, the slower and more patient I play against top players, the better I feel I play, personally. When I'm drawn into the pace game, I'm actually a lot worse. So it's really tempting at this point to start spamming or not thoughtfully playing. But I don't know, that flick, it gave me a certain sense of peace. And so, I started to pull out my other risky but important tools in my toolkit.
To anyone who says water bending's not meta. That was a very...
For sure made a move. Didn't work because it was 400 ping.
But with a mistake like grounding a wall onto yourself, it would crack anyone's resolve. And so I sought a little bit of space, not playing the slow, patient game. But I just had to reset and think. Play patiently, play mindfully. Wait for my moment.
Shit.
Again. A little bit of a water bend. Oh,
No!
I thought that was me.
What did I do?
I honestly thought that was me. And 3, 2, 1.
Why do I always forget who I am? This happens every tournament. With good reads from 2Gib, my dashes don't mean much. Slowly he's whittling me down to his health. I get lucky when he dashes into his own ball, but I think my luck has already run out from the last miracle. If I'm going to win this, it's not going to come from a mistake by 2Gib. It's going to come from a superior play. All I have to do is remember who I am and where I am for the second miracle of McDonald's.
Again! Yes!
Oh, I missed the ball!
Yes, the flick! Honestly, what am I talking about? It's the risky move.
Flick is meta!
What am I talking about? I gotta pull that out more often. It's the
I
only thing
unballed the flick.
Wait.
You have to just remember when I found the wall.
3,
Oh my god.
2, 1.
Nah.
I don't know, every so often it just feels like a moment happens where fate was weaved, if you know what I'm talking about. Looking back on the footage, 2Gib tried to ball anti-Emmy and it just missed. And then after doing a wall, his straight didn't go off. I was at 5 HP. That wall would have hit me before the boulder hit him, but just for some reason, maybe the straight was too early, it didn't go off and the boulder hit him.
Well, it would help if I took the boulder with me.
Now, of course, you know, like a kid who said one funny joke once and just keeps repeating it endlessly, I tried to go for it again and he saw it coming.
I don't have it.
And from that point, 2Gib was not going to let me raise the bar beyond 1 round.
I knew, yes,
Not too many times.
Maybe this time, yeah. Once you know what to
One
look
time
for.
was way too much. I'm
Yeah,
going to
you.
lose on this.
Okay, you look for you do the damage.
What was I rambling about before? Oh yeah, the future of Rumble. Look, I had heaps of notes and I got more to talk about. We only just got into 2027, so that might have to wait for another video because we're gonna stay locked in and engaged. I'm just gonna skip this because you know I'm not getting that second round.
Oh, nice.
Because yeah, this is where it starts getting tense.
The bar has been set at 1.
Where you know every bit of damage means that all that hard work could be undone.
All you gotta do is get 1 to reset
Raise
it,
it again.
Lose.
or 2 to raise it again, and then I'll have my final shot.
Or 0 and lose.
And we're still at 13 damage.
Now, let us review my final stand.
Let's go.
So you switched into airplane mode, I see.
What?
Do you do A pose still?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it was a scary sight to see him A-pose like an airplane. Some people, in an effort to min-max their pose positions, still tuck their arms in so that their poses are easier to hit at pace. Me as a flick player and a charge player with a lot of holds, I get a lot of utility out of longer arms, I think.
Betrayed me.
So that's my advantage. But it is scary. And I just know that if I was to lose this, I got nothing left in the tank. So this is my final stand. I'm chucking discs out as fodder just to hopefully interrupt anything that is trying. Now he gets close there, but I'm confident to know that I could stop stuff. But I don't want to stick around because just 2 stun locks and it's done. So I'm trying to keep my distance. Now, even if he has adamant procced, I still want to throw discs out just to pepper him with the pressure so that he can't do what he wants in this game. Whoa!
Oh my
Man,
word.
he just got in front of that.
You survived that boulder right
That
in
was
front of you.
crazy. I ever got. Alright, last chance.
To reset the bar, please. I mean, play your
Yep.
best, but it's a war of attrition. Yeah.
Now, I would like to say at this point I was
do
making
it.
mindful decisions and next level plays, but really it just comes down to instinct. And that was an amazing parry by 2Gib on this ping. It's crazy. And that just reminds you every so often when he does that he's something special. I don't think I got a single one of those kind of plays in this match on this ping. But yeah, he's scooting past. So even then, he just hit stun my cube coming towards him with a disc. Great mobility. My mobility is lacking at the moment. I should work on that. And so yeah. See here, this is where I thought he would go for a boulder play, but he kind of goes for safe, just get rid of them. And I get sticky hands on host,
Why am I
which
getting
is not
sticky
ideal.
hands on host.
And he's throwing stuff in the air. Anything could break through if you're not watching super carefully. And I wait there for the disc to unground the wall so I can pop it up. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, waiting for fortuitous mistakes by the client, obviously. And as the mess accumulates on the field, I actually think that that's sometimes in, the client's favor, down to 3 HP. I duck. Well, I don't even duck. I just dash behind the walls, go for an off the backboard play, miss it. He sees it coming,
nice.
thankfully. Get the cube around the side. I go trying to explode him back into that boulder, trying to just get him away. I actually go for a crossbow there, charge move. Could have worked, but it doesn't. He sees it coming. He's hold down there. I'm just trying to avoid these discs. Only at 3 HP, 1 disc, 1 ball. It's over for me. And then this ball comes, parry, try and get it off the explosion, ricochets off the top. Almost dash into my own wall. That felt like it should have broke and destroyed me. 2Gib, amazing positioning here, using the boulder to just protect him. I uppercut that disc coming my way. I'm gonna play an ace from here on out. I do not want to get hit. I'm trying to get explosive ricochets. 2Gib bounces off that wall. Finally, I find an opening,
Yeah, that's it.
and it's over.
Well played. 2Gib.
Couldn't take it anymore.
If I'd lost, I would have been very proud. I felt like I should have lost.
You win.
Nah. You got me on stamina.
Well, thank
me.
you. You stayed up till like 2 a.m. or something to play this.
Yeah, almost 2 a.m. That's fine. You woke up at like 8, and you're sick, and you're playing in a McDonald's. So
Yeah.
I have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, Jerry, the manager, was really cool. But no, I appreciate you
And that
rescheduling.
is the story of the miracles that happened at McDonald's that day.
Yeah.
Anyway, check out the other channels for edited stuff, and I'll be here next week with more of my tournament run, which should really be over by now. See you in the dojo.
That was something.